Hello everyone, and welcome to a new Let's Play series thing with the stuff. So, this is Nebulous Fleet Command. We're just going to do a quick skirmish here with the starter frigate fleet. We got the Luma Carina, the Bluebrook, the Stout Coral, and the Trick of Selena. 2 missile frigates and 2 gun frigates. So that's what we're going to choose. Just do 1 CPU. We're going to do an annihilation scenario. Presumably it just means we're going to go out there and shoot at each other. And, why not? We'll set a time limit for, 30 minutes. And we'll hit the go button. Alright, let's see where we're going to deploy here. Luma Carina plus 1 escort. Virgo there. Bluebrook there. And the Stout Coral there. Alright, let's deploy. There's the Luma Carina. Alright, K8735, the pillars, Solomon system shattered asteroid. I like the opening animation when the ships come on into the area.
Standing by.
Standing by, alright. So, let me see. Gotta see which one's which here. One thing I do want, I think I'm going to do, is to break them up into 2 ship formations.
Receiving.
And yeah, see, okay, so each of those has a blanket jammer. So what I want to do is in each 2-ship division formation thing with the stuff, I want to put one with a jammer in it. And that will do that. So I'm gonna form these up opposite of each other. Luma Carina is going with Stout Coral, and Bluebrook's going with the Trick of Selena. Now we just gotta get him into position and find the enemy. Yes, indeedy.
Receiving.
Now, I have done the Fleet Academy, so I know the very, very basic, bare bones mechanics of the game and generally how to use it, although there's far more to it than what is in the Fleet Academy and furthermore what is depicted on screen. Now, I make no claims whatsoever to be good at this game, right? But, yes. It's also worth noting that this game is currently in development. It had an early release on Steam. It's early access on Steam, and it was released back in February of 2022, so it's been out for a couple months now.
Reporting.
Yes, it just, I've seen a couple of Let's Plays on it, or some people doing some playthroughs on it, and it looks like a lot of fun. There's a multiplayer component to it. And yeah, it starts off kind of a slow-moving game, but quickly ramps up and the combat gets intense. So that is that.
Send your traffic.
And again, of course, we're here just with the starter fleet, just like a division of Raines class frigates. Not terribly exciting. Doesn't have a ton of stuff on it, but, it's basically the testing fleet from my understanding from what they've done. And so, yeah, just test the basic game mechanics, so why not? I'm not saying I'm going to be some brilliant tactician here,
Standing by.
but we'll see how we do. Going here into the tac view. I'm going to move these sort of along different paths.
Send traffic.
Just trying to remember which one is which. I'm going to move the Loom of Carina and the Stout Coral kind of there between those rocks. And keep the Trick and the Bluebrook over there off to the left.
Standing by.
Turn the radars off on and the comms off on some of these so they can maintain a low signature. Maybe we'll keep them hidden between those rocks and sneak around and
Standing by.
flank the enemy, yes. I have heard
Underway.
an interview on YouTube with one of the game developers, Mazer, I think is his name. So, yeah, kind of talking about where he got the idea for this game and,
Send traffic.
you know, and how he came up with some of the mechanics and the user interface and all that. And
Send traffic.
basically he said, you know, like, anyone who's been a Homeworld fan, of which I am one of them, yeah. He said basically the conceptual idea for this game came from Homeworld. Yes, and anyone who has played any of the Homeworld games clearly can see a great deal of similarities in the mechanics and the user interface and all that. Everything from how you move ships to the kind of the trails they leave behind to, you know, a lot of the user interface to the ships list up there in the top left and all that. It's all very Homeworld, right? Like you issue a move command. Oh, we have our first track there. Yep. Let's get a lock. When you issue a move command, right, it brings up a two-dimensional plane, and to move around on the XY axis, you move around there. And if you want to move on the Z axis, the Z axis, then you hold down a button and you move the mouse up and down, and it controls your movement on the Z axis. So yeah, it's all very Homeworld-esque. Other people have compared this to, like, you know, oh, it's as if you know, The Expanse was like a video game. You know, it's like an episode of The Expanse. I have not read any of the Expanse series from James Corey, nor have I seen the sci-fi series based on the books. So though it's kind of on my to-read and to watch list.
Standing by. Locked up.
We're being jammed there. But yeah, so I can't say to that. But
Roger that. Missile detected. Hostile fire inbound.
we have Mishhires coming at us, and we're using point defenses, shooting them down. But yeah, I mean, clearly the Homeworld origins are here. Everything from, like, kind of the blocky sort of design of the ships to
Enemies open fire.
to the user interface and all that. Although, of course, the game is a lot more, shall we say, tactical, a lot more detailed in its tactical aspects of the gameplay. And so in many ways, this game is like if Homeworld was a lot more quote-unquote realistic, and if it functioned on a far more tactical level, whereas Homeworld is sort of just this big space opera strategy game. And I kind of classified it more as kind of an operations, within the operational realm, in that you're just given a big fleet, you know, and you build ships and you have to get them from point A to point B and fight the enemy along the way and all that. But this game, Nebulous, definitely falls within the tactical realm of warfare, in that you have a certain amount of ships and far more control over their fine control over their maneuverability, their maneuvers, their weaponry, their sensors, and electronic warfare, and, you know, electronic support measures and all that than you do in, say, Homeworld. So whereas Homeworld just kind of works on a lot of broad details. But indeed, the combat in this game, as you'll see, it can get very hectic very fast. It's a lot more realistic. You know, again, as realistic as you can get for a space opera science fiction type game.
Ready. Locking them up.
So it definitely falls within the tactical realm, and I believe the game developer, Mazer, he served in the U.S. Navy, and it's definitely apparent, right? He's like asked people like, oh, how does the UI look? And people are like, well, the UI sucks, you know? And it's like, well, it looks like that. You see all these, like, this jumble of letters down below there? That's very much what it looks like, right? A lot of the buttons are just a mishmash of letters, right? Like COMM, comm, is always communications and things like that, you know? Yeah. WCON is weapons control, so on and so forth, you know? Yeah, I mean, just imagine like a cockpit of a fighter plane, right? It's just a mash of just a bunch of letters, and, well, they all mean something, you know?
Component offline. Component offline.
Alright, well, we've lost the trick of Selena there
Now.
early on. Bluebrook is having a panic attack.
No, we can't. Breach. Component destroyed. Hull breach. Component destroyed.
trying to figure out what to do with the bluebird here. Again, it's I make no claims to be very good at this game. I'm just still learning it, so. The important thing is to have fun and...
Guys, hit. We're dead in the water. Send traffic. The reactor's offline. Incoming missile.
The important thing is just to have fun and learn from your mistakes. Yep.
Orders, Commander. You lost a component. We're losing command. They're gonna learn today.
They're gonna learn today. The Macrinas open fire with their guns.
Send traffic.
Alright, let's get some missiles there
Clobbered. Launch confirmed.
on that ship.
Solution
There
locked
we
in.
go. Shoot some stuff with that guy.
Send your traffic.
So anyway, as I was saying, yeah, the user interface and all that, a lot of the game mechanics there.
Abandoned ship.
Uh-oh, and we lost Trick of Selena there in the Bluebird, yep. So a lot of the game mechanics and all that, it's very, like, sea service, Navy, you know, recognizable to anyone who's been there, so, yep,
Send traffic.
looks very much like that. I don't know what the game developer did exactly in the Navy, what his job was, what his rating or whatever was, but, yeah.
Establishing lock.
So, yeah, that's kind of what I wondered when I first saw this game. It's like, huh, the developers either had military advisors or someone who has been in the sea service, so.
Establishing lock. They're gonna learn.
Of course, again, you know, just thinking kind of in a meta-contextual way, you know, it's funny thinking about how we have effectively transposed, you know, modern-day naval tactics and things like that, and weaponry and all that, into a science fiction space setting. So I don't know if I'd really call this game a simulator per se. It has many fine simulator-like mechanics to it, but everything happens on a very, you know, kind of small-scale level. I mean, the distances in the game, you know, are in just a handful of kilometers, which, you know, in space, like, you'd think the distances would be far, far greater. I mean, you consider that modern-day naval warfare can occur over hundreds of miles, you know. Most of the engagements in this game take place over, you know, like, look, the range to one of those targets is like 3,500 meters, right? About 3.5 kilometers. That's nothing. Even in World War II, like, 5,000 or 4,000, you know, meters from a target was point-blank range for warships. So it's kind of a case of, well, you know, science fiction writers have no sense of scale.
Spiker detected. Send traffic.
Indeed, there's quite a bit to learn about this game. Everything from, like, you know, the way it's modeling its physics to, you know, the penetration of armor. Armor is sloped. It does model that. It models, you know, electronic warfare, jamming, sensors, so on and so forth. Guns, missiles, radars.
Missile reserves are low. Ready. Running down missiles. We've got a lot of staff here. Send traffic. Force laid in.
I'm gonna move the stout coral there.
We're dry on missiles, command. Force laid
Move
in.
the loom of Carina over there.
Enemy fire inbound.
We are being fired on by two different directions. This is rather disconcerting.
Lost the target. Warming up. Send traffic.
Let's check damage control. And we're working on our FM 200 drive is the main bus short. Got quite a few systems offline there. Might be in a bit of trouble.
Awaiting orders, Commander. Acknowledged.
Indeed, like I said, I mean, it's pretty apparent, each match kind of starts out slow as you take position and start looking around for the enemy. Once the combat starts, it gets pretty hectic.
Establishing lock.
Yes, indeedy.
We've got a lot of static here. Firing on that tornado.
As I imagine a lot of naval combat will be like, right? Once the shooting starts, it can be over in a flash, or it can really drag on. One of the two, right? But it's quick is the word, sharp is the action, it's fast and powerful, and you don't want to be in the way when stuff comes flying at you.
Awaiting orders, Commander.
Okay, damage control is moving around. Where you go? Stout Coral's lost a lot of its systems, so I can't really do much right now. I'm just going to move the Luma Carina forward, or in that direction, I should say. There's no forward, backward, up, down, or whatever in space. It's all relative.
Missiles on the scope.
Oh, Stout Coral's going to take some missiles, looks like.
Fire. Target lost.
There we go. One is within visual range. Shoot it!
Learned today. Locking target. We've got a lot of static here.
There we go. It's unmasking some of its turrets. Mounts, I should say. Well, it will be interesting to see what direction this game takes place. Obviously, the developers know that it's a pretty niche kind of game, right? It's going to appeal to a certain kind of player, people interested in this sort of stuff. So we'll see how it goes. They do have plans in the future to maybe add in a campaign with another faction, add in a storyline presumably, and things like that. Add in like carriers, which might make things very interesting, or just totally break the game. Who knows?
Force laid in.
But it's pretty cool what they've done so far. Again, kind of an interesting blend of realism and science fiction. Now, yes, of course, you wouldn't hear all this awesome stuff. There's no sound in space, so it's not totally realistic. And, these weapons kind of have this weird arbitrary sort of range that they can engage in. And the range at which they come into visual, is pretty short, but whatever, it's a game. Who cares? Looks like we're over penetrating the ship. And we've come broadside to. Alright, well, we've lost them all. Luma Carina's the last one, the sole survivor. Maybe there will be no survivors. They're going to tell the tale. I keep forgetting I can probably change what kind of ammo type I'm shooting at these targets, but Yes, I should probably switch from AP to HE. So it detonates inside, causes fires and damage.
Walking them up. Engaging target.
I should say I also really like the soundtrack of this, right? It's kind of hard to have kind of an ethereal, you know, kind of space opera-like soundtrack and have it be, you know, both, you know, spacey and yet intense and whatnot. But they did a really good job. I really enjoy listening to the music here.
Under attack. We've lost power. Can't do that, Commander.
Ew.
Opponent destroyed. Internal damage.
Power, we're taking damage. Gotta plug those leaks in the hull.
We can't do that.
You can't do that. Well, we've lost propulsion and we've lost some of our weapon systems.
The drives are out.
10 minutes remain.
We can't do that, Command.
Alright, let's check damage control here. Yep, we got fires in our main drive and our reactor, looks like. Get the DC teams there. Put those fires out, we don't want to explode. Yes, clearly we are not doing very well. I do not expect that I will win this match, but that's okay. Right? It's a learning experience. Again, I've just really done the Fleet Academy. I haven't done any major games in this yet, so... Yes, although I sucked at this match.
Can't do that, Command.
Still learning the ropes. It's got a bit of a learning curve to it. Okay, give me a break, alright? They just made me Fleet Admiral, and I just... Yeah. Trying my bestest. Alright, well, we gotta wait till the DC teams repair that stuff, then we can get moving again and get on the weapons and shoot. He's coming awfully close. Literally within 200 meters. He's within 130 meters of us. What's he gonna do? Start throwing rocks at us? Well, the reactor's not on fire anymore. That's a good thing, I guess. It's not melting down. It's not having a criticality event.
Engine online.
Alright, we got our engine online. We are moving again.
Alright, Commander.
Alright, let's change our orbit here.
Negative, Commander.
Yes, because our weapons are still not quite online yet. Yep, still being repaired. Well, let's get one of those Mark 62 cannons online.
Incoming Spiker.
Ooh, one of our thrusters looks like it's had better days.
We're under attack. I don't think we're gonna make it, Command.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it either. I think we're dead in the water. We've taken too much damage. And our battle is over in about 20 seconds. So yeah, we lost. They're never going to promote me to Grand High Fleet Wizard of the Wizard Space Fleet, whatever. I have dishonored my glorious navy. Oh well. Alright, let's see how we did. Guess what? We lost. but looks like we pretty much took out 3 of the enemy ships. The Loom, the Stout, and the Trick. Bluebrook is what got us. Alright, that's going to do it for this one. See you guys later.